Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel. My name is Kellman, and I am here to teach you everything that I know about modern jazz piano. Today we are going to be diving into pentatonic piano licks. I'm really excited because I haven't talked about this in a while. We're going to look at how we can use them to create some beautiful intervallic licks that we can use. And yeah, it's going to be fun. Also, super quick and very exciting announcement. The keyboard that I am currently playing for this entire video is called the Piano de Voyage. And this is a completely modular piano that breaks into 4 pieces that fit in your backpack. I love this thing so much that I have actually teamed up with Rhyme Music to be giving away one of these Piano de Voyages completely free to one lucky subscriber. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is make sure you're subscribed to the channel and leave some kind of a thoughtful comment below about the video material. That could be a question or some other thoughtful comment about what I'm actually speaking about in the video. The contest will be running right up until the channel hits 100K subscribers. As soon as that happens, a winner will be chosen completely randomly. So be sure you're paying attention to your YouTube notifications because I will be responding directly to your comment to let you know if you have won. Also want to expressly state that YouTube is not in any way liable or affiliated with this contest, but I highly recommend that you check out the full guidelines in the description below to make sure that you are doing everything you need to enter the contest correctly. Also, if you just want to learn a bit more about this keyboard, I actually did a full review video that you can check out right here. Oh, and by the way, if you're new to the channel, please consider clicking subscribe and the little bell so you don't miss any more videos just like this one. All right, let's dive right into the video. Now, when I'm working on a concept like this, sometimes I love to just come right back to a form that I know super well. And in this case, one that I think everybody will know super well. So let's just take a look at the classic F blues, possibly the most commonly practiced form on the planet when it comes to jazz piano. So where are we going to start? We're going to start with pentatonic scales. And we're going to look at what scales go with what chords. So we're starting with an F13 here, or just really the F dominant sound. So there's one obvious pentatonic scale that comes to mind. That would be the F dominant pentatonic scale. So that's literally 1, 2, 3, 5, flat 7, right? Now for fingers here, there are a couple different ways of doing it. I personally prefer 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3. I've also heard very commonly done 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I personally find it just quicker for my hand to do that jump from the 3. Also, sometimes you can, of course, extend to those last few fingers as you're finishing a lick. Right? So, F dominant pentatonic scale, good starting point. Now really quick, if you want to follow along with the video, I recommend you pause it, at least get that under your fingers for a second, and then keep playing. Next up, I think it's actually really important to know the F minor pentatonic scale too, because it works so great as a piece of many licks. That's just going to be 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, right? So, same fingering, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3. And I think it works great over dominant because even with that flat 3, you know, it's one of our blues notes. All of that, literally just the F minor pentatonic scale. We don't even have to get that complicated. So again, just using the F minor pentatonic scale, let's try some 8th note lines. Let's break that down for a second. So what are some things we can do here to immediately sound less like we're just playing a scale up and down? One of the tricks I used was just repeating a note. So literally I'm just going to double tap it with my hands. Already it sounds like we've got a lick, right? This is such easy stuff. I wish that I had realized this early on, because immediately I would have gone from just sounding like I was always playing scales to sounding like I was actually doing some more intricate pentatonics. Tripped up a little bit there, but still you can see what's happening. All right, can you guess what I just added into this little trick sequence? Well, the next thing I did was change up the rhythm a bit, actually pause on certain notes, or maybe even go back in the scale before going back up. So. I'm just changing up the rhythm a bit and doing patterns where instead of constantly ascending, I'll descend for a second and go back up. Right? So you can even practice a pattern like that. And just getting your fingers through a pattern like that, and I encourage you to even create your own, is already going to train you to hear different patterns all based on these scales. Also, if you're learning a lot so far, please be sure to hit that like button. It really, really helps me out. I also want to let you know that there's a bunch of material about melodic styles and pentatonics in my Jazz Piano Secrets course. So that course starts out on a more basic level and then takes you all the way into very advanced territory. The last time it opened up was, I think, about 4 months ago now. So the next opening will be on the sooner side. Be sure you are on the wait list if you are not already. Waitlisters actually get access to the course a full 24 hours before anybody else. Now again, the amazing thing here is we're literally just looking at the minor pentatonic scale, right? And I've just shown you 2 tricks that already sound really awesome. Sometimes we'll double tap / repeat a note. Other times we'll just kind of pause or change the direction in which we're going. What if we take a look now at the dominant pentatonic scale? So this one's also really cool. Gives us a bit of a different sound here. We can use the same exact tricks. Now, of course, the more complex way of looking at this would be break everything down into every different pattern that you could think of, maybe even write them down and try to practice them all, which can be a really great way of doing things. In fact, there's a great book by saxophonist Jerry Bergonzi that looks at pentatonics. So if you like to dig into every single potential pentatonic pattern, I recommend checking something like that out. But the way I like to approach it is a bit more improvisationally, and essentially just try to trip myself up with different patterns as I go. Anytime my fingers trip up, then I know to stop, take a look at what stopped me, make sure I get that under my fingers, and then keep going. So now we have 2 different scales to use over this F dominant. So what if we switch around between them? Cool, nice and simple. Next trick or pro tip, whatever you want to call it, is the simple half step shift out and back in. This works so well with pentatonics. So that means if we're looking at F dominant pentatonic, all we're going to do is then make sure we can play the scale a half step above. So the half step above in this case will be G flat. So a G flat dominant pentatonic. Now, actually, I'm going to show you a really interesting thing here. For me, the fingering we use for the F scales just doesn't work at all. Very awkward. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's just weird to have this 1, 2, 3, and then this jump right here. At least for me, it's just awkward, okay? So what I actually like to do for this scale, and this is one of those spots where this is a personal trick that I came up with for myself that I think works better, is I just like to do a constant 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Always 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And so that gives me a lot of mileage and doesn't feel awkward. So that's a personal choice. Sometimes you may encounter spots where you want to do the same thing. So what we're going to do is just a nice and simple shift here. So we'll start with F dominant pentatonic. And let's shift up now. All right, we got an interesting lick. Let's try another pattern here. Not perfect, let's go again. All right, cool. So for over an F blues, what we could do is maybe actually play F with F dominant pentatonic for the 1, and then when we get to the 4, just go up a half step, and then go back down when we get back to the 1. So. So if we're doing. So we're going around the speed 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could do. Something like that. So you'll see that as we've been going through this tutorial, we've been consistently building upon each skill, trying something just a little bit more complicated. So we do a little half step shift, and voila, we end up a half step and then resolve back down, and we can use that over the first 4 bars of the blues. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Again, be sure to leave a comment on this video if you want to be entered into the contest to win a free Piano de Voyage. Oh, and by the way, if you don't feel like waiting and you just want to get your hands on one of these right away, well, then you can actually use code NOAHKPiano in the Piano de Voyage store, and that'll get you an awesome discount. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you got a lot out of this video, would really appreciate you hitting that like button. And if you're new to the channel, please consider clicking subscribe so you don't miss any more videos just like this one. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.